We are back again this week to another episode of Spill the Tea, and as usual, I'm Queen Nita, and Annette is here with me, joining me.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're ready for us today.
Most definitely. And today, what we are going to do is that we have one of our viewers that has sent in a letter and wants our opinion on that. And so that is today's discussion is basically about the letter that our viewer or our fan has sent to us. And so that's what we're going to talk about. To address his issue. And so here it goes. He says, "Hello Nita, my name is Arnold. I am 35 years and a viewer of Spill the Tea. I need help from your panel." So, hello Arnold, thanks for writing in anyway. As a young man, I have been unlucky in relationships. I fall in and out of love with ladies leaving me with broken hearts. Sorry. Ladies of today are obsessed with soft life for that matter, putting pressure on the guys to get quick cash. In my case, I'm working and financially okay. Amongst these ladies, none have told me exactly why they break up with me. As a result of these happenings, a friend overseas introduced me to a lady in the US. We exchanged contacts and started texting. I call her and she also calls, knowing our work schedules. We also chat on video call, and she introduced me to her parents. I also did same. After some months, we decided to settle down. We fixed a date for her to come down with her parents to meet my parents. We set a date for dinner, and to be honest, I was very super excited. She actually got to the venue before I did. We had a beautiful moment. While eating and having fun discussions, I noticed she was looking in one direction and blinking her beautiful eyes. Nita, I was alarmed. So then I asked her if she liked the color of my shirt. She was laughing and said, "Oh, let's observe table manners." I now asked her to tell me what I was doing, and she still maintained that we should continue eating. This was no longer funny. I was surprised, shocked, and disappointed. I shouted, "Can you see?" Then tears rolled down her eyes. She then told me she is blind, and all these months we have been communicating. Her younger sister helped her to respond to my messages, and she told my friend to hide this information from me. I was very worried and confused and left her and went home. She came with a driver, so definitely I know she's safe. Since then, I have blocked her and not spoken with her despite her efforts to reach out to me. I need your advice. I'm confused and I didn't bargain for this. So, sweetheart, so basically he's saying that the lady that
was introduced to him is visually impaired.
Turned out to be visually impaired, and
this serious information was hidden from him. What kind of a friend does that?
Apparently.
So, is this friend of his who did the introduction saying that he is loyal to this lady that probably he met, let's say, a few years back when he traveled abroad, as against his friend in Ghana? Because if the lady asks you to hide such a vital information from your friend, and you heed such an advice, and you don't give your friend heads up, I mean, this is a serious thing.
But you see, the question too is, how does a disability affect the relationship? Because the reason I'm asking this is because he's come to know her for who she is, her personality and everything. So then, how is it that her disability now affects? Is it because he feels that he was deceived and was not given the opportunity to make the decision as to whether he wanted? It's more or less like he was
building
denied
this whole thing.
He was denied the opportunity.
Yeah, because you mentioned that he has come to know her as he hasn't known her as she is, because he has known a part of her, but he didn't get to know her fully before they even met, which is totally unacceptable, is deceptive.
So the relationship basically started on deceit.
Exactly, which I don't, no. I wouldn't condone it. I wouldn't say whoever played a role in this did well. No, they did the lady a disservice rather, because they should have even.
But he's saying that the lady said she purposely asked of
his friend,
the friend,
to keep this.
not to inform.
That is why I'm asking this friend: is he loyal to the lady more than he is to his male friend?
I think for me, I'm thinking that if he did that, okay, it's not really per se about. It's not really about loyalty to his friend or to the lady, but I think perhaps it is from the perspective that I'm saying that might be his thought process. That if she wants to be the one, to inform him about her disability, right? Then he feels that okay, then
I will let her to
exactly.
But she shouldn't have kept it till I don't know how long it took for them to finally get to see.
Yeah, I get you, because
at some point she should have let it out.
I'm also of the opinion that at a point when the relationship was being nurtured and it had gotten to that point where
you are discussing marriage and you are discussing
like
coming to see your parents.
It is at that point that she was supposed to have, even before they got to the point of marriage, like they got to the point of talking about marriage and stuff like that. I want to think that, you see, every relationship has stages. Do you get it? And I want to think that when it had got to that first phase or that first stage of knowing you, knowing me, like
getting to
nurturing,
know the talking stage,
when they passed the talking stage, do you get me? And they had, you see, even when you pass talking stage, sometimes there is no guarantee that the relationship is actually getting established.
Okay.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
And so when they had passed the talking stage and they had passed that phase where they both now affirmed to themselves that they were in a relationship. Do you get it? That was where she should have.
Exactly.
I'm thinking that it was at that stage that she should have informed him that she has a disability and this is what her disability is. And so at that moment it would give him the opportunity to decide whether he wants to proceed
or not
with the relationship or not. And at that time, to whom a lot of feelings wouldn't have been involved
yet.
Yes, they would have affection for each other, but the depth of it wouldn't, because they haven't gotten to that commitment stage where now they are for sure that okay, we are in a relationship and they've formalized it to themselves that indeed this you get. So it was at that, well, that's what I'm saying, that it was at that second phase
moment that she was supposed to let it out. I mean, some people would even bring certain informations out in the talking stage.
I always do that. At talking stage,
the earlier you know everything there is to know about.
At talking stage, there are certain information that I would
let you know.
So that you make a decision as to whether you think you want
pursuing this or not.
Those things are something that you can overlook.
Exactly.
For us to pursue the relationship or not. So if it's something you cannot overlook, then it means that there is no need even proceeding.
We are not good for each other. Yeah, So I think it's deceptive, one, and anyone who played a role in this did the lady a disservice. They didn't do well.
So for me, I would say that he's already in the relationship, and so he's come to know who. That's what I'm saying. He's come to know who the woman is
now.
And so for me, I'll tell Arnold that if he likes her, okay. I mean, if he likes her,
which I think he does,
and sorry about that, my dear, and putting aside her disability and overlooking, let's say in the absence of the disability, is she somebody he
would
can
like
be
to
with?
be with? Or
if she's somebody he can be with, knowing who she is, in the absence of the disability, if it's somebody he can be with and he wants to be with, I think that the disability is something that maybe by no fault of hers,
of course,
she has.
Of course, and we don't fault anyone in such a condition.
Can,
it's just
he can overlook that, right? And I'm just saying that he can overlook that and be with her anyway. However, it is very important and crucial for him to sit down and have a conversation with her and address that issue of deceit, so that they'll both have closure. Because if they don't address it, for them to have closure about that
and close that
and close that
and then start on a new page.
Exactly. If they don't do that, he would have some resentment towards her. Even if he ends up being, he decides, finally, he would have some resentment towards her. And one of the worst things is to be with somebody you resent. You feel caged, you feel imprisoned, you get and then you, the one on the receiving side. It is a feeling you don't want. Like it makes you feel unworthy to know that someone you love resents you. You see, it makes you feel unworthy. So
that's
for me, I think
a situation anybody should ever find themselves in.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
not
with just anybody at all. Talk less of someone you love
and you want to be in marriage with.
So, Nita, in my opinion, I am thinking that Arnold is the kind of man that prioritizes physical features more.
So, he's more of somebody who gets attracted, like he
physical appearance matters most to him, because I believe that he saw the ladies' pictures. They've been chatting on video.
He did mention that they do have video chats.
So he liked what he was seeing. Okay,
but one thing I don't.
He accepted her.
But one thing I don't get is, how is it that they were having video calls, but he didn't even notice
it? He didn't notice it. Because the lady was hiding this information from him. She comported herself in such a way that would not be telling that she's visually impaired. Okay, so I think there is a way she would blink, there's a way she would, and in the letter, I think he mentioned something like the lady's sister has been the one assisting. So it's like she has a coach, she has a coach.
She said
who is coaching.
The sister has, the lady's younger sister helps to respond to
the messages.
So that means, because she's visually impaired, that means she cannot type. And so meaning that when he sends her messages on WhatsApp, the sister
would have to read.
Is the one. So she tells the sister reads to her.
Yes, and then she responds, and then she types back.
And then the sister will type.
Exactly. Yeah. So she must have worked it out perfectly in order not to show that she's visually impaired. So I think that is it. So Arnold looks at the physique and he was okay. He was thrilled. He's ready to take it to the next level. Okay, come down to Ghana. Let's meet my family and all that, and let's set things rolling, because he liked her. Yes, but upon realizing that no, you are visually impaired, then I cannot go ahead, because obviously he would have plans for them, and then it's not going to be like now you are going to be a burden.
But why would she? The fact that she's visually impaired doesn't necessarily mean that she would be a burden on him.
Sister, I beg to differ, because let's use her younger sister's case for instance. So without the younger sister, how is she going to communicate? I know there is an app for...
But there is voice notes.
There's voice notes.
There's voice notes on WhatsApp, and also there's an app. Yes.
Yeah, that reads out and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, but then sister,
it's not even an app per se. It's a feature.
It's a feature on okay.
Yes. So it's called, I think, Talkback or something like that. Okay, it's a feature on Google. So
does it read messages?
Reads, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
and then you speak and then it responds, it sends it back. Okay. So, but I know that there will be a very, very huge difference between dating or getting married to a visually impaired lady, as against the ladies that he has previously been with. You know, he's never experienced this. It shouldn't. Supposing this lady in question mentioned it, you know, there are some times that cases or instances like this even draws the person more closer to you. They want to do everything. They want to help you. Are you okay? They want to be there for you. So if she had mentioned this early on, they would have been good. I don't think Arnold will be in this situation. He wouldn't have the shock. He wouldn't be confused. He wouldn't feel this disappointment and all the pain that he's going through right now. You know.
But you see, if Arnold is, like you said, that from his letter, he seems to be somebody who is quite vested in physical appearance.
Yeah.
But you see, the thing is, we age. As humans, we age. Our body go through changes and stuff like that. And especially as a woman, should there be childbirth or, you know, even see, between menses, right? Our body goes through change. So there are some people that tend to lose weight just before they menstruate, or lose weight whilst menstruating because it's painful.
Okay.
Do you get me? Or they gain weight during the ovulation period. During the ovulation period, they gain weight because they tend to have cravings. Okay,
so they would eat.
So they tend to gain weight. Then by the time after ovulation, by the time the menses comes, you get me. Okay. Then the cravings stop. So I'm just saying that if for him, right, he's someone that is vested in physical appearances. What if you? I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate here, but what if she wasn't visually impaired?
Then the marriage would have happened. The purpose for which they flew from US to Ghana would have been realized.
The main question I seek to know is that, what if she wasn't visually impaired?
And then along the line something happened.
Along the line,
I don't think it would have changed anything.
Along the line,
something happened and then it happened.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it would have made a big of a difference because he knew her when she was all good.
When she had no disability.
Yeah. Yes. So being with her for whatever years or the duration before whatever that would happen must have happened, he wouldn't desert her by that time. He wouldn't leave her that, okay, now you are no more of use or whatever. He would stick and stay, and he will be supportive during that time. Okay, that's really a different scenario. We are not saying that when these things happen, every partner will be there, will stay. No, but I mean the likelihood
that he will
stay is higher.
But what if even in the absence that she had a disability, and even she doesn't have, like, as time goes on, there is no incident of disability or whatever, but she physically just changes.
All of that will be okay. I believe that all of
maybe
that
she puts on more weight
or
after childbirth, or she might lose weight.
I don't think all of that would be a big deal.
Or she could even end up having fupa. Oh, that's serious.
Yeah, all of that I don't think would be a major problem in that relationship because, as I said earlier, he knew who the lady was before. So all of these changes wouldn't be a big deal like that, because I believe men know that women change with time and the age. So he'll be expecting all of these things, so they won't come as a shock or as a surprise to him. And I'm thinking, do you see any role that social media is playing in this? Because we see a lot of pictures, models, even those that are not models. I mean, people are snap whatever and filtering their pictures so much so that it's building some image
as though
in our mind that
like
we want unrealistic
images.
Images in our heads. So we want our woman or our man to be like this shape, da. Do you think social media is playing any of these tricks in our minds with regards to physical appearances?
You see, this is a question we would have to ask Arnold, because you see, there are some people that, in fact, I think from what he's saying, he said that he's blocked her and stuff like that, meaning that probably when they were together, he was showcasing her on his social media platforms.
Oh man, that could be another big thing.
Maybe he was showcasing her on his social media platforms.
Yes.
Because if not, why would he be that concerned? Aside from the fact that he said you noticed he might be someone who whose interest is piqued by physical appearances.
Yeah, I think so.
He could also be one of those that tend to show off their
partners.
Exactly, on social media, and so maybe based on that,
as it turns out
that she's visually impaired, so he feels maybe embarrassed. He feels maybe embarrassed, and
that's a possibility. Is very possible. It's very possible. But even if it's not, if he didn't even showcase her or show her off, I think he said he's financially.
Yes, he said
something good.
He said he's financially stable.
Yeah.
At least he earns a decent income.
Okay, so maybe he would have some places that he knows that I'll be going with my woman, we'll be visiting here and there, and now this will change a lot of things for him.
So it could be that he's one of those guys that like to show off, present a certain public image. He's one of
yes, because going to the extent of blocking her right there and then, I think it's too much. Okay, because yes, granted, you are disappointed, you are whatever adjective you want to use, but he should have kept his line and the communication line opened to hear from her and listen to whatever she would have to say, and then he also, if he had anything to say or any more questions to ask her why she did that or whatever, he will go ahead and do that during this period. And then they both come to a conclusion that, based on this, we all agree. I mean, we can separate without a quarrel. Yeah, we can separate without a quarrel. I can't deal with this. I didn't bargain. He mentioned I didn't bargain for this. Yeah. So you tell her I didn't bargain for this. So all my calculations, I didn't put this. I didn't consider this in it. So based on this, let's go our separate ways. I mean, we can separate without quarrel. But as it is, he has blocked her. Like he's not ready to listen or whatever. And he says she came with a driver, so she'll be fine.
For me, that's insensitive.
That's so
that's
not cool.
insensitive.
That's so not cool. I mean, how can
it's
you
insensitive.
leave? Yeah,
it's so.
Arnold, you didn't do well on that.
At least he should have made an effort to escort her to the vehicle or something like
let's
not
end this
because she's visually impaired, but because it's a gentleman thing.
Exactly,
it's a gentlemanly thing to do.
Yeah,
being polite.
Make sure she gets home safely. You know, but this is a case. He left her there, went his way, and then
which
blocked.
He shouldn't have. Which he shouldn't have.
The woman.
Could it also be that maybe his actions were influenced by perhaps his family orientation?
It's possible, Nita. It's possible because, you know, there are some homes. They would make certain passes or comments, you know, in relation to any kind of disability, you know. So if his background is any of such, I think,
but that would also be very insensitive. If even perhaps his family orientation informed
his action decisions,
his decision as to not wanting to continue the relationship. I still think that his actions were inhumane.
And it was rude. It was not a gentleman kind of.
This very same family should have thought
him those manners.
This very same family.
We don't know. We are just you know. Arnold,
I mean, we are just
we are trying to decipher what informed your action, the way you handled the whole situation. So yes, I mentioned it earlier on. The way you handled it wasn't proper. It was inappropriate. It was not gentlemanly. You should have waited, made sure
she sat in the vehicle,
and she's taking off, and even
check
reach her on phone to find out if she's home. You know, the dinner date or whatever could have ended abruptly.
But just make
it's
sure
understandable, but make sure
home. And besides, you see,
she came all the way for you. Thank you.
The reason why she
came all the way for you. So
the least you could have done was to be
make
polite
sure that
and, you know,
she was safe. And then whatever you have to
talk about it later. Of just blocking him. And you see, even
like that,
even he himself not giving room for them to have
even talk about it.
He will not even get closure for himself.
That's why he's writing to you,
because if he had the conversation, he would have had the closure.
Yes. That's why he's writing to you. Wouldn't even be discussing this one on spirituality.
So I think that
they should talk.
He should open the communication channels. Have a conversation with her. Whatever it is that is informing his decision
to back out.
I'm not going to for lack of a better word, I'm not going to so I'm not going to, you see, he has his reasons for not wanting to continue with the relationship, which I respect. However, I also think that he should give room for
the conversation to be had,
the possibility of pursuing the relationship further. I think, because I still maintain that who she is, her personality, and whatever it is about her that made him fall in love with her, does not change.
It's still there. It's still there.
It does not change. And so having that conversation and giving he himself the opportunity to have closure concerning the issue, to be able to make a more informed decision
as to whether he's going ahead or not. So Arnold, wherever you are, open the communication channel with this lady. Talk things through so that you can have closure and have peace. on your own, and then based on that piece, you can sit down and put 2 and 2 together and think that, okay, without this, I like the personality, I like the way we used to talk, I like maybe the way she laughs, I like all the things that you liked about her that led you into falling in love with her, and even to plan this trip that made her fly with her family down to Ghana just to meet you and arrange marriage, So put all of those things into consideration after having that conversation with her. So open up that line. Don't unblock her, just unblock her. And then, make the call. And then get talking. And based on that, I believe after some time, you make an informed decision as to whether or not you are going ahead or not. But whatever the case may be, if it's separation, you can separate without quarrel.
It's fine. I mean, if you don't want to continue, it's fine.
Yeah,
and also, I mean, this is our opinion,
yes,
right? And I believe that our other viewers as well would want to also share their thoughts on it.
Yeah,
so we know Arnold's issue, and so whilst you watch, we would be glad if, and I think Arnold too would be glad,
he would
if
checking out for comments. I believe
you would leave your thoughts as well in the comment section, so that he would also check to see if, because wisdom is not dominant in one person's.
Absolutely not.
It's not dominant with one person, and so yes, we have given our opinions, but chances too are that the opinion of others, might also be
drive something better home.
So I think on that note, like I said, today we are only talking about Arnold's issue. So on that note, we are going to say bye-bye
for
and
now.
Then we'll see you next week on Spill the Tea. As always, I'm Queen Nita and
Annette, baby.
All right then, so we'll see you some other time. Bye.